Welcome back to another episode of the Conversations and Libations podcast, and we are in a new spot.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
We are officially at the bar, and guess what? The bar is officially open.
It's not my new spot, but it is a new spot.
That's true. That's true. It's not actually. So this is at my parents' house now. So we are going to try and do some of the more of the episodes here as well. We've got just a great bar to do it at. And why we haven't been doing that, I'm not sure why, but we made it happen. So here we are. So the reality for us is that we just make it work however we can.
That's right.
Which is why you see a box here and all the stuff,
Hey,
we're making it work.
We do what we got to do.
Well, here's the deal. We make this thing work no matter what. That's the way it is. We're going to kind of upgrade it as we go. It's our first video episode. So, getting that rolling, which I'm cool with. I think it's just making sure that everything is started, right? And I think that's kind of that's going to be today's big point, just get started.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think you need to back up a little bit because this is not your first video episode. This will hopefully be the first one that gets released.
Well, this is true.
Correct. That is correct.
Yeah. We did try to do a couple of videos and it just kind of flopped.
It blew in our face for a minute, but we make it work. We get it going. We've got everything ready to go. We're trying to make things happen and up our game.
Yeah.
And you know what? We gotta kind of undersell it first. Then we can just keep getting better.
There you go.
Right? So that's the deal.
We are short mic today. He had to take an absence.
Yep.
But
we are both short mic and have short
and
mics.
short mics. But we've got a plan for that as well. So, we're working on it. We're working on it. So, this is an interesting, unique episode. We're doing this in the morning.
yes,
Right?
totally
Right.
different from anything that we've done.
Yeah, totally different. So, we are drinking today the Irish coffee, and it is fantastic. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And of course, the first actual video released episode is going to be ones where by the end, someone's going to have a stash. Someone's going to have a milk stash.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's the way it should be. That is the way it should
I'm
be.
going to have a milk beard.
Milk beard, he's going to dump
to
it
be
down
fair,
his face.
probably won't even see it in yours anyways.
In my chrome beard.
Just dump it right down your face. Exactly. That is perfect. The old chrome beard.
But this might scare everybody.
Maybe not.
Because now they'll know what we actually look like.
But people can stop asking who I am.
Well, that's true.
Nobody ever says my name.
That's right, Nick.
Yeah. So I'm Nick. Nobody. Hi. Yeah. So we actually had that pop up at one point that it was like, who is the other guy? The one that kind of leads the show. What's his name? Nobody ever says his name. Well, now we know.
As someone who only listened to the first season, it was constant Mike, David, Mike, David, Mike, David. It was, I think, the first episode you introduced yourself, and I think that was it.
That probably is it, because I think what we're figuring out here is, who's the talent? Who has to keep this thing going? Who's got to keep this party rolling?
Hey, you can be the talent all you want. I'll just keep making the drinks.
Deal. You twisted my arm. I'll just keep drinking them.
Go. And since this is our first video where people can see us, yes, you are Nick. I'm David.
I'm Andrew.
This is Andrew. Mike will be on again on the next one like we talked about. And actually on the next episode, we have a very special guest, which we are really excited about. So make sure to tune in for that because that's going to be a really good treat for everybody. And definitely something that's really, really big around Kansas City. Like this is a really, really big person coming from Kansas City. So be sure to tune in for that. So guys, our first morning episode.
Yes.
This is interesting.
Well, it works out great for me because I'm a morning person anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a big morning person. I say that I used to be a big morning person. I have never liked mornings.
Yeah.
But I am very used to having to have gotten up very early with playing sports and everything. We were up early all the time. So I was used to that. I didn't have any problems with it, but I've never enjoyed mornings. Like I've just always been a night person.
Yeah.
So that's a little different for me. But, we do what we can. So, no, mornings is not my jam.
And something else that's a little bit different about this particular session is we're standing.
Yes, we're standing. We've got the stools ready to go. They just weren't able to make it into the pack today. So
someone remembered about 30 minutes before we started recording that we didn't have stools.
And I was not going to let that stop me.
That's right. Hey,
I was not going to let that stop me. Hey, it works out. We make it work. We roll with the punches. Like I said, this is how we get better, kids.
That's right.
So, and now we know the setup. It's pretty easy. So all good from there. So what's been going on? What's the week been looking like?
It's been an interesting week. We no longer have our project manager, so it's been kind of like a little upside down on a few projects. But
well, all right.
Yeah,
I think I know that guy.
Lost another coworker this week, so it just makes it kind of okay. Let's back up, regroup, and
yeah. Well, that sucks though that you guys lost another one though.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is, and we'll just find
make it work, man.
That's right.
Make it work.
Right.
Yeah, I think that I think there's always some benefit in some kind of change, right? Like, you know,
right.
that's fine. But like also, you know, when it was like when I left too, like it's hard because, you know, love the group, love the team, love the work that we did.
Right.
Like, you know, we do a lot to give back, and that was a pretty big piece, and I enjoy that. So it's nice that I'm in a role where I do that still, but it sucks to have had left, you know. So that's just part of it. I think that some of those are good, bads, and differences, but hopefully that goes smoother.
Yep.
Yeah.
Other than that,
nothing too crazy.
Got some good news in the family, just small stuff, but
awesome.
You know, that kind of counterbalanced the bad with the good.
Yeah, well, that's a good
plus. Turned out as a good week.
Yeah. What about you, Andrew? Anything new this week?
I mean, I got a nice counterbalance too. As you know, I've been going through kind of a crazy acquisition at work. We were recently bought out by a competitor.
Yeah.
Everyone was super worried about it. This week, I got my new company vehicle. It's a brand new 2023 Ford F-150.
Sweet.
So
yeah, it's sweet.
That counterbalanced out real quick.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, really.
That's what we talked about, though. You know, you got to keep an eye on that. Make sure that they're not trying to pull the wool over you.
I'm just saying. I'm happy for now. I'm happy
is
for
that
now.
The one?
Could be
the
worse.
one you drove up
mm-hmm.
in? Oh,
yeah, that's a brand new one.
Nice.
Less than 2,000 miles on.
Could be worse.
Well, that one that I pulled up in, it's not a company vehicle.
No.
Mine's also not a company vehicle. I mean, unless you
still
say like we're in good company, then yeah, it's my company vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm just saying when I leave here before we head up, I'm just going to start my truck from my phone, guys.
It seems
mine
fair.
does it automatically.
Mine just knows that I want it to start, and telepathically, it's like I'm going to turn on because Nick's my boy.
That's your wife's car.
Well, that's
so
true. I did drive up my wife's car today. You're right. That's true.
Your car's going to start at home in the garage.
But can we talk about this for a second? So we're okay. So we went and looked for cars this week. Not looked for cars. We very, very briefly opened the door to look at cars, right? And I mean, no like specific reason or anything, but Anne's like, you know, like my car is paid off. Like I don't want a car payment. I was like, I completely agree. Like I am 100% on that. She's like, but you know, at a certain point, like, does it make sense to get some money out of my car while it's this point and put that towards a car that potentially for growing family? I was like, well, yeah, that does make sense, right? So we're just very cavalier, like have no, like there's no incentive right now whatsoever. Like we're just like, let's just look, right? So we went and looked because we've got a friend that works at a dealership, and car is super nice, but man, buying a car sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does.
Buying a car sucks. And I don't know that there's a reason other than like the process isn't that bad. Like I can work through that. I just don't want to. I'm stingy. I don't want to pay on a car. I have no car payment right now. Why would I want to pay on a car? You know.
My wife and I have several years back shifted, and we don't buy anymore. We lease.
Sure.
Just because it works out better for us.
Sure.
Her car is new, so I'm going by the dealership today to tell them, okay, I want you to order one of these.
Yeah.
Let me know whenever it comes in.
Yep.
But the general manager at the dealership knows me now.
Yeah. So you're just ready.
And knows he is not going to make any money off of me.
Well, that's
so
that's a positive.
Mm-hmm.
I did start the conversation that way. I'm like, hey, you know me. Like, you know me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've watched your kids. Like, you know me.
Right.
Don't try and sell me because you're not gonna.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just know what I want.
Right.
I know what I like.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess better question is, I don't know what kind of vehicle I want.
Mm-hmm.
I know what, like, amenities that we are kind of looking for.
Right.
So I'm like, if it doesn't have these, do not pull up in it because I will tell you to drive away and I bring something else.
That's fair.
Well,
He just looks at me and laughs and he's like, you never changed. It's like, I'm not going to. That's right.
Having worked in the automotive industry and 10 years of it was for General Motors.
Yeah.
I know enough.
Oh, sure.
About dealers, so.
Sure. Yeah. I don't dislike dealerships. I don't dislike car salesmen or anything. I just am like,
Yeah.
Very, very meh. It's a meh thing for me to go through.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Now, are you looking at new or gently used?
Well, we'd like that be in the used category, but the problem is that used anymore is almost as expensive as new right now.
Yeah.
So we're just like, look, what makes sense? Keep an eye out. So nothing specific, nothing that we're like, oh yeah, we need to make sure of this, this, and this. It's just like, we kind of like this kind of vehicle. We kind of like this kind of things inside the car, like stuff. So indifferent, but always fun. So that brings me to a really, really funny thing that happened this week.
Do tell.
So you guys know I've been redoing my office.
Right.
So the office got put onto a little bit of a pause because we had to wait for the carpet to get in. No big deal. Like, no big deal. In that, my wife says to me, oh, let's just go ahead and do the floor for the shower that's coming up. And I was like...
Yes.
Add it to the list.
Add it to the list, right? So my father-in-law and I, we dive in and we start tearing out old carpet, putting in new floor into our dining room and our living room in the front area of the house. And the way our house sits, you kind of have to it matches into our kitchen and kind of runs around on the main floor. So our kitchen and our dining room and our living room are now all the same.
Nice.
Great. Perfect. Project's going fine. Whatever. No big deal. That all works out. We get things in. It looks really good, clean. So we run into a kink there, and then we move back into the office space. So we get I built my desk, so I wanted to do a stand-sit desk, and then I bought a top for it, right? I did a butcher block top. So I'm setting my desk up, and, I want to do I want my desk to be clean. Like, I like the cable management. I like to have everything looking good. Like, very much like I want a space that is clean and comfortable, and I can be in here for a long time because I spend a lot of my time in there working, right? So I go to move one of the monitors, right? And I've got these on arms.
Right.
So I go to move one of the monitors. I'm like, I know I want this monitor on that arm. So I take all the tension off the arm, right? Because I know what's going to happen. I unscrew that monitor, set it down, right into my face. And I was like, you have got to
You even knew it was going to happen and still let it happen.
I intentionally did everything to avoid it, right? So I'm like, we've talked about this before. I could win the lottery, and if I get hit, like if I hit my head, I am pissed. Like, I am instantly mad. Like, I do not like getting hit in the head, get hit in the face. Like, nobody does. Like, who's like, come hit me in the head. But like, it's just one of those things that, like, that's a spark for me. So I'm like, this damn thing. I did everything I could to not have this happen, and it still happened. And like, I had it under my arm, like all this stuff, and nothing didn't work. So apparently I had like in the elbow of it, and it's just like, okay, whatever. So I'm mad as hell. I got my gums are all cut up. I'm bleeding. And
at least you didn't break any teeth.
Oh, I would have been pissed.
I'm just wishing that you had a video recording.
Yeah.
I almost did, funny enough.
I started doing that anytime I build anything.
I wanted to have like a lapse of it. Yeah. I don't know that the recording would have made it. It would have got flung out the window. So that's going on. And I'm like, okay. So I sit for a minute, and just like hanging out for a second. I'm like, I need to take a second here. Let's give myself a minute. Then I go back into it, put the next arm. I go to put the next arm on because I have a dual mount, right? So it's two arms on one mount. So I go to put the next arm on, pinch the crap out of my hand, and I'm like, I'm just standing there like, this isn't happening. Like, this is not happening. So I'm just like mad as hell. So I walk away, go do stuff. Like, my wife had some other stuff to do they're having a baby shower at the house this weekend. So wife had some other stuff to do. So I just let that happen. And then I went ahead and put together the stuff that she needed, came back down, did a few more things, and I decided to head up. And this is in the evening. This is like 10:30. So it's like getting ready to like wind down for me anyway, like get in the shower, like I got to work the next day anyway. Like I just had time in the evening. We were already up. So I'm like, I'm going to do it. So I go up, I go to open the box, and I'm super careful when I have to cut anything open. Like I don't put my hands in the way. Like I'm very aware. Right. And sure enough, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Blade skips off. Box goes this way because I'm holding this side of the box. And it cuts my thumb. Not bad, but enough for me to just be pissed off. I'm like, okay, now I'm bleeding. I'm going to bed. I'm mad as hell. I'm going to bed. I come downstairs. My wife's like, what is going on up there? I was like, what the hell's not going on up there? I'm getting whacked in the face. I pinched my damn hand. I'm about to cut my thumbs off. Like, what's not going on up there? And she's like, well, sounds like a good time to stop. I'm like, my wife is so like even kill, chill. Like she's not like the exact opposite of me. Like I will get like ramped up for that. And she's just like, no, whatever. And I'm like, bleeding everywhere. And like I said, like it's not even, I barely even got myself, but enough for me to just be like, goose frappa.
So what's the timeline in between the first hit and the cut?
Probably about an hour. Yeah.
So
probably
just
about
as you
an hour.
start maybe starting to calm down from the first incident. The second one happens. Yeah.
So then I tell myself, next day I'm going to get up, I'm going to get back on it, and we'll be fine. So I get up. I get some work knocked out. I open the box, get the new monitor put on the arm. Monitor doesn't work. I'm like, this can't go more south. Like, what is happening?
Don't say that. Don't say that.
So I'm like, I'm messing with stuff and getting things going. Well, sure enough, Madison's standing up here by me. I'm working. I've got the one monitor. I know it's not working right now, so I'm not messing with it. I'm just working on the two that I have. Like, I inherited a monitor, so I'm not like, what am I, an asshole? I'm not going to not use a third monitor.
Well, yeah,
if I get a free monitor, absolutely. So that one I'm not worried about. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna work on getting the new dock. Like, I'm sure it's a new dock thing. So I talked to some people at work. I'm gonna get that fixed and everything's gonna be good. Well, in this time while I'm working, Madison finds the buttons to my desk. And I'm like, no, leave it. Stop. So she walks away. She goes and plays. She comes back. Like, okay, I can see this is going to be a problem. So that's not what we want. So we go downstairs. She plays. I run into the bathroom. I mean, mind you, it takes 30 seconds. She's upstairs. Desk is going up. Stuff's falling off. Oh my gosh. Because I've got nothing, no cable management whatsoever right now. Yeah. So I've got like everything's just coming off because it's like pulling on it from the wall, outlet and everything. And I'm like, I need to go back to bed for like a week. That's what it became.
Sometimes we have weeks like that.
Yeah, that's what it became. So it was a fun 24 hours.
Sometimes we have months like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it was just like one thing after. I was like, this can't be real.
Mm-hmm.
So and of course, she's tiny. She has no idea. So at a certain point, her arm just no longer reaches the button. So she's just like, okay, whatever.
All right, time to walk away.
Yeah.
Can't play with that anymore.
So nice and fun. Anyway,
so you got that to look forward to from now on.
Yeah, now that she knows where it's at, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was great. So let's talk some fast facts, huh?
Yeah.
What we got?
Well, so as you said, this is our first podcast of recording in the morning. So we decided to go with a good traditional drink.
Yep.
Irish coffee.
Great drink. Love an Irish coffee. I've had, I don't even know, countless Irish coffees, right? Like, we talked for how long about what we were going to make in the morning because we're like, it has to be a morning drink. Like, we got to do something. So, first initial thoughts of just an Irish coffee in general, like they're all smooth, right? Like, I love coffee anyway. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about it. It's a pretty straightforward drink. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's whiskey, cream, coffee, brown sugar. Like,
correct.
That's pretty much it.
So the traditional one is made with brown sugar. You can go to many different bars. Everyone's going to make it differently, just like any other drink.
Sure.
Some people still do simple syrup in it just because it's easier.
Right.
To me, gives too much of a sweetness.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It'll kill that whiskey flavor a little too much.
Sure.
So brown sugar to me is perfect. Even then, I will venture towards light brown sugar because it is still just that little less sweet.
Sure.
It gives it just enough that when you're drinking the cream in it, it doesn't, like, it's not pungent. It's just perfectly smooth.
Yeah.
What's the amount of the molasses that's in the sugar?
Yep.
So
yeah.
I like it.
I like it a lot. Yeah.
I've not really ever had a true Irish whiskey or Irish coffee.
Sure.
I always thought putting whiskey in your coffee was called meal prep.
Yeah, that's just breakfast.
That's getting ready for work.
Yeah, getting ready for work. Yeah. I don't disagree.
That's number one for the day.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I'm rather intrigued by it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, you're very, very much a black coffee, straight coffee person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Beans and water. That's all that God intended.
And you have been probably for the longer than I've been alive.
Oh yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. I've always drank black coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you drink your coffee black as well?
Yeah. So I pretty much never put cream in my coffee. So the only time I will ever do it is if I'm drinking traditional.
You know, I always have at least a little bit of coffee in my cream, so it's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. I am all about having some creamer in my coffee.
Yeah.
That's the way I roll. I'm sticking to it. And I don't care what anybody's got to say about it. It's the way it is.
So do you like the flavor of coffee or do you like the flavor of creamer?
No, I like the flavor of coffee.
Okay.
And I am pretty, I would say though, like there are some pretty bold coffees. And I'm not super into like really, really bold coffee. Like I'm still like a medium coffee guy. I mean, by kind of like timeline purposes, I'm still a baby in the coffee world. Like I started drinking coffee like after college. Honestly, because I was like, I can't wake my eyeballs up anymore.
Well, the coffee that we used for this is a medium roast.
Yep.
In a
local roastery here. Yeah.
Yeah, and it has a really good body.
Yeah.
Now I don't like these bitter, strong coffees.
Sure. Yeah.
There's a popular coffee shop around town. It's got a mermaid or something. I cannot stand their coffee. It always tastes burnt.
I don't mind their coffee at all, to be honest. But that's a very good point. Is like teach their own, right? Like there's so many different ways and types and things that you do or don't do or how you do it. I can't even get into that conversation because I know that somewhere some hipster's ears are just burning off their body, and they're like, ah. But we used a French press, we did it.
We used a French press, and I have not used, even though it's my French press, I haven't made this coffee in it. And
oh, sweet. Okay, so this is kind of a test run for you.
Yeah, I really like it.
So you kind of mentioned you didn't like bitter coffee.
Right.
In a traditional, it is more of a strong coffee.
Right.
Sure.
So the medium body of this does kind of pull a little bit of flavor out of it.
Sure.
Honestly, I think it's fine. Of all the traditional ones I've had, I do like it. Like I typically, if I make it at home, I'm making it with espresso.
Right.
So I like that really deep, bold coffee flavor behind it.
Yeah. But are you making it much smaller, or are you just making a huge shot of espresso?
I will make a shot of espresso.
But are you making like a small, like are you having like this much?
Oh no, I'll make a couple shots of espresso.
Okay. That was my question. No. Is like, are you not having like very much at all?
So in college, when we used to make these jokingly in college, we would go to Starbucks and you can just ask 4 shots of espresso.
Oh yeah.
In a large cup.
Yeah.
So we one day filled up a cup with just Starbucks espresso and made it with that.
You know, I've heard that from a lot of people, and so many people say it's the way to go. Like, it's such a great deal.
Yeah.
And not necessarily just for this, but like for all kinds of things. Yeah.
Here's something that a lot of people don't know. That, they say, oh, give me a shot of espresso. I need it. I need to get it going and everything else. Espresso has less caffeine than a cup of coffee.
It just tastes stronger.
It's because the water doesn't sit on the coffee grounds very long. So everybody's like, oh, it gets me wired. Drink a cup of coffee. You'll be buzzing all day then.
Yeah, I'm like a total novice in this world. I just am.
Also, a blonde coffee has more caffeine than a dark roast. Because roasting process reduces the amount of caffeine. You learned something.
Yep,
I learned a thing.
That one I did know.
Yeah.
But what's funny about the espresso one, I joke with people all the time. You know, high school, you get these girls like, oh, I can't live without coffee, and they're walking around with the Frappuccino.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or it's not a coffee.
Or just like a flavored water.
Yeah. And
Yep.
I typically don't drink. This to me is a flavored coffee. And
This-
I typically, the only one that I really like is the Carajillo, which is the Brazilian
Olives.
or Spanish.
One of them olives.
No, it's not olives.
Oh,
It's
not for
Liquor
sure.
43 and espresso. I love that.
I was thinking somewhere along the lines of an olive pickle bar, like something maybe closer. Wait, is this one of them types of cinnamon? Don't you be fooling with me now.
We need to broaden your horizon in the culinary world.
I don't know how. There's just we just got to make it work.
Yeah, okay.
I told you I am open to trying the olive spread.
I'm going to, for one of our, especially, doing video, I am going to do an olive spread for you. Not a olive spread, but a board.
A assortment of
tasting
olives
board.
to taste.
Yes.
I'm here for it. I'll try it. I'll try anything. Let's give it a go.
Okay.
Can we put some pickles on the board? He said
No,
he
no,
said
I
he'd
will
try
not
anything.
do the. No, I will try anything. I'm not going to just eat everything.
I'm making
in
the
the world.
pickle
ice cream?
alcohol pops.
Ugh,
Ah.
nasty.
I thought you were going to do the ice cream. Okay,
I like pickles, but I can't do
That-
stuff like that. No.
pickle tahine ice cream.
No.
that was bananas. I can't
it was
believe
pickles.
that was a thing.
That was
Yeah.
a split without bananas.
Oh man, yeah. If you're wondering and you happen to come across it, literally it was pickle ice cream with pickle spears on each side of the ice cream, like a banana split, but with pickles.
Right.
They hit it with hot sauce. I think it was hot sauce.
It
wasn't
looked like a sriracha or something.
yeah, like some kind of hot sauce, and then they hit it with the tahine, the spice, and I'm like, I'm out.
Oh,
Am I saying that right? Am I
all
saying
day.
that right? Is that how you say that?
Tahine, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm in all day. I will eat that. That sounds amazing. I love pickles.
No. That was
There's
like
no way.
the pickle spears that were wrapped in bacon and then cooked, and they were dipping it in ranch. I nearly lost my lunch.
Really?
Yeah, no. First of all, I don't like ranch.
I almost made lunch.
I don't like ranch, and in my mind, they ruined bacon. Wrapping up
Well,
pickle spear.
I don't do pickles. I'm not picky. There's just very few things I dislike in pickles.
There will be some pickles on that olive assortment, but it will be different types, probably that you've never been around.
All right, here's the deal. I'll try it,
Okay.
but I'm not promising I'm going to like it.
Okay. Well, it will be served with a Bloody Mary.
Oh. I promised that I would try it again, so I'll try
That's
it
true.
again.
That's true.
I can't hate on it. It's just not for me. Like I said, if I'm going to have all that, just put the damn thing in a pot on the stove, heat it up for me, throw it with grilled cheese. Good to go.
Well, you haven't had mine.
That's true. I have not. And you promised me a really good one, so it better be.
It was going to be this weekend, but Mike's not here.
That's true.
Can't do it
Yeah,
without
we
Mike.
can't do it.
Yeah.
We can't do it without Mike. He would be
No.
disappointed.
Yeah.
He would be disappointed, which makes us all feel sad. Anyway, great drink.
Yes.
Really love the drink. I'm definitely on board with this. I mean, like I said, I've had several of them. I have them when we go out for brunch or whatever. Like lots of different things.
So the only other thing I will say about them is you got to watch your Irish whiskey.
Sure.
Certain ones don't mix.
I
You
can
you
get
go
that.
to some restaurants that they want to put Jameson with it.
Yeah.
I don't like
Cannot
Jameson.
do it.
Oh, really?
Jameson, because of the way it's aged in those certain specific barrels,
Sure.
give it a different flavor. So when
Okay.
I
Yeah.
picked out, which we're going to try here in a little bit by itself,
Yep.
I went for one that was more of a sherry cask, has
Sure,
that little bit of
sure.
sweetness behind it, which helps complement the drink.
Sure. Yeah, I get that. I mean, I think too, there's a lot of complexities in it. I say complexities. There's a lot of things that you have to be cognizant of, like the fact that you're putting in brown sugar, so you have to have at least hot water to make your coffee.
Yep.
I'm not saying you can't make an iced coffee or whatever that may be, but it's like you probably ought to do it.
You certainly can, because I've done it before. If you do the whiskey and brown sugar by itself, the alcohol in the whiskey will help the brown sugar dissolve, and then you just pour it into your iced coffee.
Can you do?
See, that's an idea.
Have you tried it with Demerara or turbinado sugar?
I have not.
Yeah, turbo motor sugar.
Turbo snail sugar?
Yeah, it's a great movie, man.
I have
great
not done
movie.
Terminato. No, I have not.
I'm because that's what I use at the house
Okay.
for my old fashions and.
It would
stuff
just
like
fully depend on how it dissolves. You know, brown sugar, the great thing is it dissolves easy.
that. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. All that. Chemistry. This is where we need to like cue in that meme of what is it, John C. Reilly, where he's just like confused as hell.
Yeah.
Just see numbers floating around like Rain
It's
Man.
not even going to be a me. We're just going to
We're just gonna show-
impose his face over yours.
We're just going to
Perfect.
show Nick whenever we're talking about food.
Yeah.
Because he's like, what?
That's exactly right. That's exactly what it's going to be. You know, I think that's the reality for me. I don't know enough about food. I like food. I like food a lot.
Yeah.
And I get it for free at my work.
We just need to broaden your horizons.
ridiculous.
Expand your tastes.
Expand my tastes.
Yes.
I've had lots of different, lots of different types of food, like from around the world.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like different cultural things. I have a buddy I work with that spent some, I'll call it significant time, just because they lived there, but it was like 6 or 8 months. In, I don't know specifically where. I want to say it's somewhere in the Middle East. I think it was Israel. He was doing some like oil work or whatever, right?
Right.
And he was talking about how he wasn't ever picky, but never had lots of different types of food, right? So like he wasn't sure what was out there. So when he got this job, he had gone there, lived there, and obviously he's not finding, like he's from small town in Oklahoma. Or he might be from Arkansas. I can't remember. I think it's Oklahoma. But real small town. He's like, I'm used to like growing up eating like burgers and fries and things. Like it was just normal. Like he kind of grew up on like a farm, and I think, but like I said, small rural area. And he's like, we're just used to that kind of lifestyle. I was like, now, like I go there, I'll eat anything.
Yeah.
And he's like, he eats like everything hot, like hot.
Okay.
Like, I mean, he'll just go and get like the hottest wings you could find. And he's just blowing through them. I'm like, oh, like just
See, that
sitting
sounds
next to you.
that's
that
my kind of
burns me.
that's my kind of food.
I know.
love-
Yeah,
I love
you're into that.
spice.
And I can't do the spice anymore. Yeah.
I like spice, but I don't like heat.
Was that burger that we saw when went out had pepper jack,
Oh,
jalapeno
yeah,
cheese,
yeah, all
and
the-
chilies, and
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that one, I remember that now. That was supposed to be pretty hot. I couldn't do that. That's a no for me, dog. Oh, man. Well, I get it. I'll try it. You guys just let me know. I'll try
All right,
whatever.
all
We'll
right.
give it a go. I'm not doing that one chip challenge crap, though. I already did that.
but yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah.
No.
I already done that once. That was horrible. Stupid idea. Had to go buy some milk. Literally laid on the floor during a meeting. That actually happened. Have you not told you this story?
No.
Okay,
No.
so when I was working as an engineer, right, I had a buddy that had like several of these just in his desk, right? So me and my other buddy are like, oh, we'll try it. Why not? Like we just think we're like, it's not like,
Right.
I know the stories about bad it is, so I'm like, I'll try a little piece. Like I don't like spice that much. And it just absolutely cooked me. Like I was not expecting that at all.
How
And
much did you try?
Probably a half.
Okay,
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
that's fair.
Like maybe
If
a
you would have
third.
said anything less than a quarter, then we would have had problems.
It might have been a third.
You know those.
Well, they're not that big. Like they're not.
I mean,
that
they're like an oversized Dorito.
Yeah, but like in terms of like what it actually is, like you can't like. It's not like you could like split it.
No,
Like it's
yeah.
not like you could just like cut off pieces of it. It was like I probably had like a third of it, and I was like, this is horrible. I don't know how people love spice this much.
You remember the little boxes that had like 5 or 6 different nuts?
Oh
in 'em?
yeah.
And they were different levels of
Yeah.
heat. And then that last one was like, it's going to put you in the hospital.
Yeah. No thanks.
I knew some people that tried that and would only go maybe to the 3rd
Yeah.
or 4th. And
Nope,
they were like,
not for me.
I'm done. Worked for a guy that he'd open up the box, all 5 or 6 of them, throw them in his mouth, chew them up, and eat 'em.
I do
Nope.
that.
Nope. I just remember vividly like being like oh my gosh, like my stomach, this is horrible. Like literally laying over drinking milk like during a meeting. We were on a call. Me and my buddy that did it, he's like, this is horrible.
Were
So
you on
he's like,
video or just audio?
no, we just happened to be part of it. And like we were there basically like to be assistants if needed. Thankfully we weren't. I was like, he's like leaning up against the window, like, and I'm like sitting on the floor, like, oh, this is horrible.
Curled up in the
And,
fetal
like,
position.
For some people, like that is not a big deal. Like they're
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
it's not a big deal to them. And for me, I just can't do it. Yeah. Like it's just
Well, I will say spice to me is not a big deal, and
Yeah.
those hit me because I've done it too.
Yeah.
Except I did the whole chip. That
Yeah, I
was
can't do that.
miserable, and I love spice.
no thanks.
A guy that I worked with in Arkansas makes his own hot sauce, and he
yeah.
grows his Carolina Reapers and Ghost chilies,
Oh, he gets down to it, huh?
Nice.
and he's got the hot sauce. It's called Ghost Reaper.
Okay.
Wonderful flavor, but I tried some of it. I took a little cracker, put a drop on it, ate it. It was hot, but it tasted really good.
Sure.
So I put some on an avocado because
Sure.
the fat
Sure.
counteracts it. I was
Yeah.
like, now that's really good.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and this was midday, and
Sure.
I think I tried maybe 8 drops. I was up all night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't do that.
My gut was just tore
Punching you.
up.
Yeah, no thanks.
So
man.
I have also attempted my own homemade hot sauce.
I remember this. I remember this story. This is hilarious.
This is the only thing I'm going to ever say. If you want to make your own hot sauce, do it outside.
Yes, yes.
I did not. My wife was at work. I made 3 different ones: a jalapeno, a habanero, and an Asian chili sauce. My wife got home 6 hours later, opened the door, screamed at me, closed the door, and left. Yeah. I grabbed the leaf blower and was like trying to get the
Yeah.
air running through the house
Yeah,
just
but then,
to air it
but
out.
then you also had the weird scenario of your hottest
Oh yeah, no,
one
my
was sweet.
my Asian chili was supposed to be. I thought it'd be cool if I made it. It was going to be green, yellow, and red because that was the perfect colors of the peppers.
Okay.
It was going to be the stoplight series: red, stop, it's hot. My Asian chili peppers were sweet peppers.
It was like, stop. This is terrible.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. My hot sauce turned into a fantastic chicken marinade.
Hey, that's all that matters. It still worked out.
Yeah, but
There you go.
The habanero stayed in the house. I mean,
Yeah.
days. We could smell it.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that stuff will it will really mess up your skin too.
Oh yeah.
No thanks.
But,
Well, and I just got used to it. I didn't even think it was still in the house. It was 6 hours before my wife got home from work. It was still there.
yeah, I wouldn't do this, but if you were to actually taste something like if there was something on the counter and taste it, you would have tasted the pepper because the oils
Probably.
cling to everything.
Oh,
We had a
geez,
bunch
yeah.
of fruit. I didn't even think about that. I wonder if my wife ate any spicy food.
Oh, probably. Yeah, probably. Jeez. Oh, man. Well, good stuff, guys. Feels like a good spot for a quick break. Yeah, that was kind of Friday the 13th, right? Wow. Okay, so during the break, we decided to make this thing roll. And we are going to have a quick second half today because we've got things going on this weekend. But nonetheless, our topic today is a fun one. And it is bad ways to start the day. So I have so many. I have bad ways to end the day from earlier in the conversation. So I don't know. We talked about this a little bit. Like you said, you're a big morning person, David.
Yes,
I'm not as much a morning person, so I have lots of ways that could be bad to start the day, like having to wake up, go do things.
Yeah, getting out of bed.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. These are the types of things where it's like, you know, like your day is going, it's almost like fill in the blank. Like your day is going to suck if. But there's also the opposite side of that. It's like, well, all days can be good days because you just have to think positively, which is true. And I agree with.
It does help, but there are some things that can really mess up a morning.
One thing that definitely messes up a morning is just unbelievable traffic.
Yes.
Or like vehicle problems, right? Like
Yeah.
I sat in
Yeah,
traffic.
car doesn't start. Like,
Yeah, just like things like that. Like that's always a frustrating way to start the day. Like I left early enough for sure. And I ended up sitting in traffic for an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, this is horrible. Like this is stupid. And for nothing to have happened.
Yep.
Just people
People driving
around.
like idiots.
Yep. Yep, there was one car getting towed though, so that was good.
Well, yeah.
Shut down the whole highway.
Everybody's
Everybody
got-
stop.
Everybody's got to watch that.
Yeah. That drives me insane.
Yes.
That's one of my
We've
worst
talked about
ways to start
traffic.
the day.
Yeah, we've talked about traffic.
Yeah. What about you guys? What's a bad way to start the day?
I think on the same line of the vehicle is, you end the day with, oh, my gas light's on. It's fine. I'll do it in the morning.
And you don't do it in the morning.
And then you
Yes.
forget. And the second you turn your car on, ding. It's like,
Dang it.
yeah.
See, the good thing now that I'll say about that is that you have like 60 miles, at least in my car, it's like 60 miles once my gas light turns on. So I got plenty of time.
Yeah, here's my
but-
problem. I live 30 miles out of town.
Yeah.
And he drives a truck.
Yeah,
And
and
I
he
drive
drives
a
a truck. Yeah, that's true. Your gas light turns on as soon as you get back in the car after filling up.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, buddy, whoa. Just perpetual gasoline filling in the back.
Yep.
Yeah, just keep a tank back there.
Yeah. And,
Just a huge one, the whole bed.
That'd be nice.
an experience that I had started my day off wonderful. I got up. I was late getting up. Hit snooze too many times and frustrated with myself at that. And then I got in the car, hit the garage door button, started going up, and all of a sudden, bam, spring broke,
Yeah.
garage door slammed back down.
See, I would say it's too bad that Mike isn't here because that's a bad way he started his day. I think you guys remember
this
that.
was totally different. This was totally different, though.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
yeah,
Mike
this-
was going like Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah,
Just
no, he hit it.
Yeah.
flying through the garage door. He just blasted through it.
But have you ever tried to open a garage door when the up assist spring is broke?
Oh,
You got
Yeah.
about 600 pounds pushing on it.
yeah. It's not fun. That happened to us. And we have old garage doors.
Yes.
Like garage doors from
So they're heavy to begin with.
Yeah, from like the 70s, right? So when the house was built, it was in the 70s, and that was heavy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm like, my wife's getting ready to go, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I just deadlifted all morning to get this thing up. And I mean, it's, in comparison, like it's not unbelievably heavy. Like it's not, but like it's heavy. It's a pull to get that thing up when it's just dead weight like that. I'm
Right.
like, oh man. Oh, yeah, that's not fun. I think, too, so one thing now that I'm in, like, and, like, this is just from being in a job in general, not, like, my current job by any means, but, like, this is just the way it is. Working out in the morning now sucks because you shower, then you're all still hot, you put your work clothes on, and they're just sticking to you. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just so used to, like, this kind of clothes.
What is this you're speaking of?
The workouts?
Working out?
Yeah, so what happens is some
Getting
people...
out of bed is a workout for me.
Yeah, so what some people do is like there's these places called, you might know them as gymnasiums. There's like a jump rope, and they have there's like some dumbbells. That's a weight, is what that is.
Well, I
And then
renamed.
they relocate them from the ground
What
to
are we waiting
somewhere in
for?
the air.
I renamed my bathroom gym.
So you visit gym
I
every
go to the
morning.
gym every morning.
I'm going to open a bar named Jim.
Jim, so hey, I'm going to the
Going to
gym.
the gym.
Yep.
Going to the gym.
So
No.
you talked about working out.
Yeah.
This is now the first one with video, and we had this conversation. I believe it was the last episode that you wear yoga pants.
Yeah, no yoga pants. Sorry.
So is that why they're sticky? Because they're just so tight you can't get them on?
No.
Because I don't
all
have that
pants.
issue wearing actual pants.
What is... Okay, first of all,
Those were your wife's yoga pants.
Still no yoga pants. However,
Sorry, spandex pants.
first of all, pants are pants. Secondly,
They are
no,
certainly
I
not.
don't wear spandex pants. Thirdly, I have to wear dress pants a lot in my office. I guess I don't have to, but I do. And just the nature of... I wear... Like, my dress pants are actually like golf pants. So they're like...
It's not dress pants.
They are. They really are. They're super
golf
nice.
pants.
They are golf pants, but they're dressy. Like, they're very nice. I wear them at work all the time. You never knew. Dress pants. Boom. Nailed it.
I didn't necessarily look at your pants.
Let that sink in. But the reality is that if I, like, it takes me forever to cool down after my workout. Like, actually cool off. And I just feel like I'm just sweating in whatever I'm wearing. Even if I'm wearing jeans that
Take a
day.
cold shower.
Yeah.
I do. That's the point. It just takes forever. Especially if I work out at work, shower at work, and then I'm just at my desk in like 3 minutes. Like, that's just not enough time. Not enough time. I just don't like that. I don't like just being sticky and gross. Also, that's enough shit given me as the one who does work out in the room.
I work out.
Outside?
It might have been a little bit since I actually did, but I was
Yeah, we'll have to get you back on that. We'll have to
working
get you
out
back
right now.
on
Look,
that. That's true.
I'm lifting.
Ounce and a half curls. Yeah. So that's a thing that's just uncomfortable. I guess being uncomfortable in the morning is rather the real thing.
Yeah, it really is. In my first job that I worked in, it was a sheet metal building.
Oh, sure.
And this was in central Arkansas in the 80s.
Yep.
Mid 80s, we had heat wave big
Oh,
time
yeah.
coming through. We're talking about 110 degree days
Sure.
consistently.
Sure.
So in the shop, in the middle of it, the coolest spot that was in there was 120 degrees. So it was
No, thinky.
it was brutal. And I took 2 showers a day, one in the morning, one after work. I'd get up, take a shower, get dressed, go out to my car. Before I got to work, I was covered in sweat.
Mm.
And I can't stand that. Yeah.
No. See, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like just being sweaty at work is all. Yeah, it's kind of okay. So here's like a good way to put it. Like it's like having gym class in school,
In the
and then
morning.
having to go back to class. Well, but like at my school, I had to wear a uniform, so like I
right.
didn't need a chance to wear. Like it was literally like khakis and like I guess a polo for the most part.
See, I was the kid.
He
that
went to the
just,
special school.
I was the
Right
kid
around
that
the
just
corner.
continued to wear the basketball shorts throughout the rest of the day and
I wish.
annoyed everybody else because
Sounds
of how bad
awesome.
I probably stink.
That's fair. That's fair. I respect that. No, that was one of the deals. Like it was just so uncomfortable. Like, oh, okay, this is dumb. This
Yeah.
is so dumb. One other thing that just irks me to my core is a bad way to start the day is waking up with a pounding headache.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Bad way to start the day. And then I just am testy. I just am like, nope, don't bother me. It's not like one of those like, I haven't had my coffee yet cups. Like, it's not like that. It's like, stay the hell away from me. I might smack you. Like, just stay over there. We're good. No, I just am like, that just is a whole different level of annoying. You're like, I just slept all night. I'm supposed to sleep off a headache. I wake up with a headache. What's the point? That's dumb.
How about waking up knowing that you've lost 5 battleship games in a row?
This is real. Okay, let's take a second here. Okay, so
This is a new one. All right.
okay, this is gonna. Okay, so this is not necessarily a bad way to start the day. This is just I had a bad week. Okay, there is no. All right, there's a strategy to Battleship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Battleship.
Yeah,
game?
yeah.
Okay, so we play this like.
I was
mobile
around
game.
before the game was invented.
Did you make it? Are you not telling us something? Are you loaded? Are you the guy that made Battleship?
Am I bloated?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, so Andrew and I play this game on like a mobile game, right? We play against each other, and there's several different games you can play, but we always play Battleship.
Mhm.
There's like we have a strategy, like we both have a pretty good strategy, I would say, and we're fairly good at the game.
Right.
There's like these little singular one space boats,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Hard to find.
Oh my gosh. It's unbelievable. Like he'll go and he'll just randomly fire off like 7 or 8 in a row. And I'm like, what in the hell this has been all week. This has been happening.
The other day, Nick, so you get 10 ships total. Nick had 9 of my ships before I maybe had 2 of his. He was stuck finding the last singular block ship, and I wiped
And
his
he
entire
won.
fleet out.
And he
winning.
won.
So I
It's
take
unbelievable.
it you're playing a digital version of the game.
Yeah, we are. And it is just ridiculous. I was like, this is so dumb. And then it's like, just like, I could not give my mojo. I could not win a single game this week. I think I won one
You
or
finally
two.
won one, yeah.
Yeah, I won 1 or 2. And then, like, it seemed like everything was going his way. We played this mini golf game. The last shot he took was just like fire it as hard as I could, and it just ended up in the hole, and he beat me by 1. I was like, what is happening? This is so dumb.
One
I was like,
is
all right,
all
I'm
you
going
need.
home. And I was like, damn it, I'm already home. I can't even I can't even storm out.
Yep.
One is all you need to win.
I know.
And there
It
are
was-
no participation trophies.
Well, now there are.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Not in
Not
my
for
games.
us.
Oh, and in all games, David. Newsflash.
Nay.
No, we have had so at anytime that he plays me in a game and I lose, especially when it's something silly, like not something silly, it's just like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? I just immediately go to a game that I know I can blow him out of the water in.
Yep.
Like there's one game for sure
Basketball.
that he's never beat me. Yeah, he's never beat me in the basketball game. And I'm like, that's just one of those games I'm really good at.
The swiping does not work on that game.
It's the phone's fault. No big deal. So, yeah. That's how this week has gone. So that has been a bad way to wake
so
up.
I've
and
never
start the day.
played multi-person games on my phone.
Oh yeah, it's a whole different animal. Don't start. It just piss you off.
Yeah.
If you lose.
Especially if you lose the way I've been losing this week. It's like, this is dumb. This is dumb. Yeah, it was like, come on. I couldn't even put there was no rational thought I had that could land me in a place that was like, it's cool. We're just over there like, this phone is about to fly off the wall on its own. So yeah,
Nice,
bad way to start the
nice.
day. Bad way to start the day. But there's lots of different things like that. So you just gotta learn to live with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find my mojo sometime.
Yeah.
And it's gonna happen.
You know what? Once you get past that, then you have last call.
That's true. Last call.
I
which
think it's a good time for last call.
so this last call. All right, let's talk about this for a second.
Well, if you remember, we're doing a blind tasting
Right.
that only one of us knows what it is.
Yes.
Other than the fact that it is an Irish whiskey.
Yep.
That's
we
all
know
we
it's
know.
an Irish whiskey. Yeah, we do know that. So this is the Irish whiskey that we actually used inside of our drink earlier for our Irish coffee. I'm not super savvy with different types, so I'm not going to be able to tell you anything about it.
Same here.
I'm not going to be able to tell you a brand, but from what I've tasted, it's really good. So I think in this one, let's try it. Yeah, I mean, it's really smooth, which we know for sure. I think it's Irish whiskey, man. Mm-hmm. Like,
Yeah, so the big differences in Irish whiskeys is kind of how they're aged.
Sure.
Because the process itself is pretty similar across the board.
Sure.
This one is aged to be a little bit more sweet.
And
which is what I like
definitely
about it.
Sweeter,
It's got the sweet,
yeah.
it's got the smooth.
Is it a younger one?
Yes.
Okay.
So the distillery, no. The whiskey, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because it has such a light taste,
It is very light.
I don't get a lot of the flavors that I typically look for.
It is aged less than your standard Jamesons and stuff that pull
Sure.
more of that flavor from those barrels.
Right.
So this one, right off the bat, like you said, it is sweeter for sure, which I don't mind. David, what do you think? Like, is it too sweet for you?
No, it's not too sweet. Like I said, and I'm going to take a guess. Is it around a 3-year-old?
I was gonna
Maybe 5?
guess a 5-year-old.
So-
was gonna be my guess.
It is Irish whiskey. It doesn't have a standard,
Okay.
so it is actually not labeled.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Correct.
Okay.
So Irish whiskey, because of the way it's made over there, they don't really. So Jameson has ones. I mean, there's plenty that say how long,
Sure.
but it's not a standard to kind of announce
Right,
it.
it's just aged.
But it is a young one because you still have the alcohol
Yeah,
alcohol forward, but the flavor is very light.
Yep.
So
yeah, I get that. I don't know. I like this a lot. I like I said, I'm not going to be savvy enough to tell you what brand this is, but I think in terms of quality, it's high. Like it's really high quality. I would say that if I had to guess how much this was, I would probably put it in the $40 range.
Yep.
Maybe like a $42.99 is my guess. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm somewhere in that range just because I know Irish whiskeys are in that price range.
Jamesons
Yeah.
are about 25 to 30.
Right. And
Yeah.
that says
Which I
something
would say
about
is
them.
kind of your average, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, maybe I'm highballing this a little bit. Maybe I'm like at a $35.99. It's my guess. I'm trying to prices right
I was
this
about
as
to
much
say,
as
are we
possible.
doing prices right?
That's right. That's right. That's exactly what we're trying to do.
If we're
Bob
doing
Barker's
prices
gonna
right,
come out?
you're both wrong. So what we have here
Let me guess. It's a $3 whiskey.
is called Two Gingers.
Okay.
So it's from the Kilbeggan Distillery, which is
Redheads?
oldest distillery in Ireland.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So what's great about it, what I like, is the smooth malt, slightly sweet. It's got honey and citrus notes to it.
Definitely
which is
the honey. I
Where
can definitely feel the honey.
sweetness comes from.
Citrus, I don't get as much citrus.
It's like an orange peel.
Yeah.
So
It's that kind of citrus.
because of it is aged less, you don't get that kind of heavy barrel flavor.
Sure.
Right.
As
Yeah.
Jameson, $14.99.
All right. Well, I definitely lost the game.
Wow. 2 gingers.
2 gingers. It's
Which
a very
is
good.
pretty fitting for an Irish.
It's got to be redhead.
Yep.
Fitting that you got it. Boom. Just give me some. Give me some. It's definitely really good. I mean, this is definitely one that I would say I would get and have on the shelf. I don't think that there's anything about it that is a turnoff for me. And I like Irish whiskey, so it's kind of not a miss.
Yep.
I think I would like one that's a little more complex, but you can tell it's a good quality because it doesn't.
Sure.
Even though it has the alcohol finish, it doesn't have that in your face burn. It's not like a rock gut like Kessler's.
See, and
Paint thinner.
that's like, for certain drinks, you want that complex.
Right.
Right.
For an Irish coffee, you want to try and stay away from the complex because
Well-
then it kind of pulls the flavor of the coffee out and you don't really get as much.
Sure.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
I don't know. This is real good, though. I would definitely recommend this to anybody. And if I had to give it a rating today, I would probably say that this is about an 8 for me. Between 7.5 and 8. I think cost goes into that, too, so I'd probably have to go on the side of an 8. I like the flavor. It's not overpowering. It's not something that's going to just like sit in your mouth forever and be like, oh, man, that just really burns or anything like that.
Right.
So I would probably land on an 8 here, especially for the price. Like
Price is
anybody
right.
can get that. Yeah.
Price is right.
Yeah, you're not going to break the bank getting this kind of drink here. And I mean, that's exactly what we're looking for, right? Like it's no $5 vodka, right? But in our case, $4 vodka.
Yeah,
but
$4.99.
Still, yeah. I mean, this is great. Yeah, and I've never had this, so this is awesome.
Yeah, this is the standard, every March around St. Patty's Day.
Sure. Gotta
I'd
have
like
one.
to relive my old glory days being in college and at least have one Irish car bomb.
Yeah,
I usually go to this because it's not as harsh as Jameson.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my big
True.
thing. To me
Yeah.
personally, Jameson's overrated. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
This is smooth.
It really is. Now, for me, like I said, I prefer something that's a little more complex. I can understand the simplicity whenever you're making Irish coffee or any other mixed drink.
Sure.
I do like it. It may get added to my bar just because I don't have an Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
There you go.
And the price is great.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't beat that
price is good.
Yeah.
I would probably, for me, in my opinion, would be around a 6.
Okay. That's fair.
6.5 because of the price.
Sure.
It's not your average,
Sure.
but it is pretty good.
Yeah. What do you think?
Definitely, it's an 8.5 for me.
Yeah,
like I
just
said,
like that.
it's one of my main Irish whiskeys that I will
Yeah.
typically go
Just
to.
go for it all the time. Yeah.
I can respect
this?
that.
What about our Irish coffee today? I mean, it's an Irish coffee. It's hard to rate because it's an Irish coffee.
Yep.
Like I think, to be honest with you, it's more of a coffee than it is a liquor, right? So,
Yeah,
Seven,
depending.
6,
So because of the
0.5,
simplicity,
7.
you don't really taste the whiskey.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
do a more complex, then you're going to have that burn kind of behind the coffee.
Right.
So
but absolutely recommend an Irish coffee if you've never had it. Absolutely recommend the Two Gingers Irish whiskey if you never had it. Both definitely something I would go for.
Yes. And then, like I said, I'm not a mixed coffee person,
Yeah, that was interesting for you.
but it was good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. For a coffee liqueur / liquor blend, for the ones that I've had, I would say 7.5, 8,
Yeah,
somewhere in that range.
perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I like it.
yeah, I'm normally about a 7.5. I'm going to give
Yeah.
this one personally like a 6, 6.5, only because I prefer stronger coffee.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Makes total sense.
it's respectable.
Definitely, I'm going to be drinking more of them, so I'm not out on that. I'll definitely be drinking this again. This Two Gingers is great. Definitely something I'll go get. Try and keep in the bar for sure. It's a good go-to.
Oh yeah.
It's a really good go-to. Well, everybody, you know the drill. Thanks for joining us on our first ever episode for video. Thanks for joining us on our first ever morning episode.
Yeah, we ought to do more of them.
Thanks for joining us on our first ever coffee No, that's not true. It's not true. We had an
No.
espresso
Yeah,
martini.
you had espresso.
That's true.
We had the espresso martini. We also had the Carajillo.
Yeah, we already said
the
that
liquor
one.
43.
Yeah,
I know, but we had that. So
that's true. We did. We did have that. Very good. Well, be sure to go check out our Instagram. Make sure that you give us a follow there and take a look at our link tree as well. It's where you can give us a recommendation on drinks or topics or anything like that if you want us to talk about. But we're really excited to keep this thing going. Keep growing, keep getting things going for guests coming on. Be sure to check out the next episode, as we will have a guest here that is definitely going to be a big player in the KC alcohol scene.
Yes.
And is very, very exciting for us. So check that out. And until then, the bar is officially closed.